Alright YouTube, welcome to BRS, where I buy, repair, and sell for that ever-elusive profit we all chase. In this episode, first I'd like to apologize if you hear the dog noise in the background. She's chewing on a toy. In this episode, my son, his battery on his phone swelled up real bad the other day, so I'm going to repair this. Live one came here for you. Just a little background about myself. I'm no stranger to small electronics repair, but I'm definitely not a professional. So if you're the layman at home and you think you want to try this, this would be a good video to follow along. I use the Green Fusion Repair Shop parts kit from Amazon. Hopefully you can read that parts number. I'm not sure if the camera will focus. I'll leave a link in the description for this. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what comes with it. Again, this is for the Moto G Power 2021 model. Motorola G Power 2021. This says Moto G7, but it's also compatible with the Motorola G Power 2021. It comes with instructions. The battery itself, which is a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. So it comes with some screwdrivers, which I'll probably not be using. I have my own sitting aside. We'll see. Another screwdriver, tweezers, some kind of a plastic pry bar. Looks like some adhesive, probably for the case of the phone. A suction cup to pull the battery out. SIM card tool. Some random piece of plastic I'm not familiar with. It looks like a playing card almost. Can't get it out of the box. Alright. And then a pick, and then more phone dismantling tools. I'll just follow along step one in the book here. So first we're going to use it says to use a hair dryer to remove this, but since the battery's swollen, it is a lithium battery, I don't want to subject it to any extra heat. So we're just going to do it raw dog. Just start by inserting this this guitar pick shaped tool in here into the crack that already exists, and I'm just going to follow along the edges and kind of pry up on it as I go. You can hear that adhesive coming apart. Again, folks, I've never done this before, so this is my first time right along with you. I will say that we want to be careful. There are some ribbons connected to this camera. We want to be careful that we don't damage that ribbon. We will be taking it off, so don't go crazy. I know sometimes when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail, but in this case, we want to be kind of delicate. So I've got the adhesive taken care of here. Let's open it up. Okay. Well, maybe I don't have a ribbon to worry about. I guess not. So looks like the switch here functions on some kind of contact for the flash. So I don't have anything to unplug, at least up to this point. All this old adhesive will need to come off. But you can see how swollen that battery is. It was swollen enough to separate the body from the phone. So let's see. So we're going to remove these screws. Okay, it looks like I got all the screws out. Let's go ahead and try to remove this plastic cover. The instructions for this actually are written for the... Oh, never mind, they're written for both. Ignore me. Aha! We have a hidden screw. Alright. Looks like we've got some kind of a plug here that I've already removed. So, you'll remove this plug, which goes in right there. This looks like the plug for the battery, so that's nice and simple. Okay. From here we will start gently, ever so gently, pulling up on this battery. Now this battery is swollen, so if you pierce this battery, that could be bad news bears, because lithium batteries, when exposed to oxygen, can cause fire. I'm not going to be able to get that on there. So we're just going to find a place where we can get under it. I'm sorry, I'm working around the camera here. And pry up on the battery on the sides here. Well, folks, you just saw that happen live. Alright. Maybe the wrong tool for the job. That sucker's in there. Again, there's glue under this battery, which is what I'm fighting with right now. And I cannot use a hairdryer, or I will not use a hairdryer, because I don't want this battery subjected to any more heat than it's already experienced. So I'm going to try to take this out without any extra heat. It is not cooperating at the moment. I'm starting to get a little bit of progress here. Okay. Alright, I gotta call in the big guns. I got a metal pair of tweezers. Now you can hear the adhesive starting to come apart. Now, I am peeling up towards the battery. I'm not pushing towards the screen. We don't want to push towards the screen because we don't want to break it. can see I'm just trying to get one corner free here. Again, these are metal, so I'm being pretty careful. This isn't one of the plastic tools that came with the battery kit. This is a pair of metal tweezers. And now that I'm able to get under it, I'll swap to this plastic pick and try to peel up as best I can here. Alright, stop there. As you can see, there's adhesive on the bottom of this battery. I'm trying to be careful. I don't want to rip the foil of the battery or whatever this material is. Because like I said, I don't want to expose the insides of this battery to oxygen. So I'm just not going to force it. I'm just going to gingerly convince it that it's time for it to leave this battery bay. Okay. You can see this battery is no longer good. Clearly, I've seen better days. Okay, here's the G7 Power battery. It comes with adhesive on the back. So we're going to put it in exactly where the other one was. Now we want to put this in as centered as we can, because when this battery gets hot from use and charging, it may expand a little bit, left and right, up and down. We don't really want that, so we're going to... Alright, so folks, I gotta try to plug this in. Alright, so this just plugs in with your finger, right here, okay? It's plugged in, oh, it just came off. So it's just lining up and presses down, just like that. Alright, now we've already hit, the battery's been replaced. It's that simple. So now we're going to move into reinstalling this plastic cover. Now, to be fair, the instructions tell us to use heat for this whole operation. Heat up the glue seal around the back of the phone, and heat up the seal the glue underneath the battery. I did not do that, so that's why I struggled so hard, and you'll see these little pieces of tools that are broken off here. I'm not going to count against the kit there, because I did not follow the instructions appropriately. I did not use heat, and I think that if using heat, we probably would not have had the same issue with the tool snapping as we did. So I'm speculating a little. Oh, let me back up here. Like I said, I've never done this on this phone before. I am learning as I go, just like you probably will be. So folks, there are little nubs here. Right, we gotta make sure that these nubs get underneath the lip appropriately, so we're going to put this in like that and push down. So you see now how the edges are all nice and smooth and flush. Alright, so we're going to want to make sure that we kind of go into that scoop motion. we're just going to start putting all these screws back in. Now in this episode of BRS here, we are not actually B or S-ing anything. We're not buying or selling anything, just repairing. But in future episodes, I plan to make more effort to buy projects, fix them, and sell them for profit. What profit goal? Well, I don't know yet. A lot of YouTubers, they try to tell you they're trying to get a Lamborghini or something, but to be honest with you, if I can just get my truck to pay for itself, I'll be happy. So why don't we say $3,000. Now, we won't make any money in this video, but let's say that if I hit my profit goal of $3,000, I will come up with some kind of a celebration. I don't know. 3,000 is not a huge goal, but we don't, we want to take little bites at a time. $3,000 is an obtainable goal, obtainable sum for most normal people, and it depends on how you approach that. I am not going to be doing a whole lot of electronics, actually. Most of the electronics you'll see me work on are just toys or devices that family members need me to fix. I don't really do this for a living. I'm not an electronics engineer. I'm not an electronics repairer. I'm just kind of a guy I'm an autodidact, right? I'm a self-taught dude that learns things and then does them. Alright, apparently I didn't learn grammar too well, but anyways, I figured I'd take you guys along the way in my little journey of, I guess, profit, or whatever we want to call it. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all of this adhesive. I'll fast forward through this. I may even just cut to when it is done so that you don't have to suffer and listen to me babble. Alright, I've cleaned this up about as much as I care to. When you do yours, you may want it cleaner. I don't know, I may be making a mistake, but you know what? It's my phone. I'll do what I want. Just remember, folks, I'm just a guy. You can just do things. You can do this. It's not terribly complicated. This is my first time ever doing this, so don't get scared away from trying to do this yourself. I'm going to have to try to do this with gloves on, which isn't going to help much, but we're going to try and replace the adhesive around the body of the phone. And it comes with these little strips. Okay, I'm going to replace it on the cover here. And I'm going to leave this white stuff on until I'm done putting it on, and then I'll tear it off. I just don't want it getting stuck on my gloves more than it already is. So there's a little lip. I'm going to leave it just proud of that lip, or just shy of it, so that in case it goes into the groove of the phone, I don't want that tape getting in the way. So I'm just picking an arbitrary place to start. I don't even know if I'm doing this right, folks. So the instructions actually don't cover this part. So if the manufacturer is out there, which I'm sure they're not, and I'm sure they don't care what just a dude on the internet has to say about their product, but if they are out there listening, you might want to include, oh boy, this is a mess, you might want to include best practices or something for doing what I'm doing right now, i.e. maybe tell people don't do this with gloves on. I don't know. I'm just a guy. Okay, I will go ahead and do this, and I will cut to when I am done. Alright, folks. That was quite possibly one of the worst things I've ever done in my life. Um, the first worst thing I've ever done in my life is take the adhesive off. You see, I had to remove my gloves. Oh well. This looks horrible, but it's there, right? I had trouble with this tape doubling over on itself, so be sure that you watch for that. And also, it's just really fragile. I hope this even sticks. Enough babbling though. I'm going to go ahead and just give it the old college try and snap her back down in place. I'm lining up the camera lenses at the moment. And then I'm going to apply pressure around the edges where the adhesive is. There are no snaps. Will not snap close, but it does look like the tape's doing its job. I am not going to go out and say that this is waterproof anymore. I'm just not that confident. But I could be wrong. I don't know. So let's see if this battery's got any charge in it. Alright folks, I let this thing charge overnight. It seems to be bricked. Apparently it's pretty common with these Motorolas for the motherboard to have issues, or the CPU to have issues once you change out the battery. Of course, that's my luck that I would run into an issue like that. So there's a couple things I'm going to try. First, let me show you. If you hold the power button down, if you look at the top right of the screen, look at the little white LED will flash. I don't know if you saw that. Okay, I've already tried doing the forced start up into safe mode where you hold the volume down button and the power button for 2 minutes. I've tried that probably 15 times. I can't get it to work. So I've watched 100 videos on YouTube about tapping the screen and banging it with your hand and all these other things. I've tried all that. The screen's got a crack in it already. I don't want to go too far into that. So it either needs reflashed or it needs a new motherboard. Either way, I'll figure that out. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to download the Rescue software, Rescue and Smart Assistant. It's for Windows. And then I'm going to do, since this won't go into fast boot mode or reset mode. It's considered hard bricked, or some might call it the Qualcomm 9008 mode, because the computer won't be able to detect it if it's hard bricked like this, right? So I'm going to try to do what's called a blank flash, which forces the processor to communicate with the PC, so I can push the bootloader back into the device. If I can't do that, I might replace the motherboard. I'm kind of dead set on fixing this thing. I'll bring you guys along. I'll probably have to open the phone back up again, of course, if that's the case, which sucks, but what do you do, right? These dang throwaway, planned obsolescence devices, it's just the world we live in. Oh well. Stick with me. I'll get this fixed, hopefully. Alright, y'all. As you can see, I've taken the phone back apart. I did some research online about bootloading and firmware and you name it, right? And I was like, I'm not getting any response out of this thing at all. It's not showing up on my drivers. It's not doing anything. I just don't understand. And looks like I got some broken plastic there too. Strange. None of the how-tos on the internet were working. None of it. And I was like, well, maybe I had to have done something wrong. And the eagle-eyed viewers may already see what's wrong. But I made sure my battery connector was connected. But I didn't make sure this somehow got disconnected. And look at this guy, right? So yeah, my battery was maybe charging, but none of these connectors were connected. I'm guessing, in my infinite wisdom, when I was pulling this thing apart, I bumped all of these connectors off somehow. So I'm going to plug those back in. If you are copying my video, please don't. But if you do, just make sure you double check all your connectors. Okay, you hear these little clicks. You probably can't hear them because the mic's on my chest, but good. Just double check all of these are connected. And we're going to, before I put the back on this, see if it'll power on. Look at there. I fixed it. I don't know what that means, but I fixed it. Alright, let's see if we can get it turned off. The important thing here is it's functioning. We've made progress. So I'm going to try to put it into the bootload mode, or whatever it's called, where you hold volume down and power button for as long as it takes. Okay. I'm going to go into recovery mode. Now, I've only just read about this stuff, guys. I've never done this, so if I make a mistake, you're watching it in real time here. Okay. Let's try it again. See what happens if I just go to start.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
And please ignore my son's background, but you can see the phone is fixed. So let me turn it off. I'm going to turn it back on and just see what happens. Alright, it appears to be functioning. So we're going to turn this off. I'm going to go ahead and put this back together. I don't think you need to watch me do that again. I'm going to go ahead and conclude the video now. If this video helped you at all, if you hated it, if you loved it, it's okay. We can still be friends. Please like and subscribe. This is a new thing for me. I plan on doing a whole lot more content like this, not just electronics, but like I've told you previously, also, automotive, lawn mowers, anything with an engine. I try to fix electronics before I throw them away. So if you're interested in me recording any of that stuff and interested in seeing me buy, repair, and sell items to achieve my profit goals, please stick around. Thanks for watching.